Oh, yo, guys, what is up? Welcome back to another live stream. We're back here on the channel. Hope everybody can hear me loud and clear and the audio is working properly. Let me know in the chat, as always, if you guys can hear me. And we're going to kick it off for another stream. We're back, baby. We're going to dive in. Oh, yo, see what is going on and what pairs we can potentially trade this week. Obviously, so far this week, it's been relatively slow in a way, where I'm personally just waiting for some new positions to form. But I can update you guys on kind of what I've been looking for. Obviously, throughout the beginning of the week, I've been calling for a pullback on the dollar. It seems that we're now getting that pullback. So now it's a question of, okay, when are we ready for the next kind of like impulsive phase? Yeah, guys, you want the background music again? I can give you guys some background music if you guys prefer. I'll give you some background jazz music. What do you think of that? Some background jazz music. Let me bring back the old one. Yeah, guys. I see you indeed. Check out your AUD. Check out Swiss pairs. Yeah, let me do that in a sec. Let me just turn on some background music for you guys. And then we're going to kick it off. So in the meantime, as always, let me know where you are tuning in from, guys. From wherever you are in the world. Super curious again to hear where everybody's from. Let me turn on the background music for you there. Let me know if this background music is good or not, yeah? Or if you guys find it nothing. Or maybe it's too loud as well. That is obviously also a possibility. Because I can't listen to myself. Let's see, guys. So, wow. Everybody tuning in from everywhere again, as always. Fantastic. Okay, glad to hear that the background music is good. Good. So we're going to dive in and see what is going on, as always, with the markets team. Let's see, first of all, what's happening and where we can potentially get some trading opportunities. Yet. No, I don't know the Indian-style Christmas song. So we're going to start. Thanks, guys, for letting me know where you're tuning in from. I'm going to give you guys a quick update. Sadly, I'm still not feeling very well. Still very, very sick. But yeah, showing up as we always do. Now, before we dive in, just make sure to leave a like on the stream. Yeah, this should be better. Make sure to leave a like on the stream and let's tune in. So obviously the dollar has been making a pullback back in towards the downside. Pretty much as we can see over here at the moment. Obviously this is quite expected after, guys, I put it lower again. It should be good now. We can see that we've been seeing an overall pullback here on the dollar index. Overall, this dollar index pullback was expected, providing us with kind of like a bigger pullback on the other dollar pairs as well. Looking at the daily time frame on the dollar index, again, guys, this is how simple kind of like trading is, in the sense that all we are simply doing is looking for major points of liquidity from where we can potentially see a pullback. So when we've had this overall rally in towards the upside, where we've been seeing pullbacks from? Well, we saw the first pullback from this major liquidity high here, and then we saw the second overall pullback from this major liquidity high over here. So again, just looking for an overall retracement down. We've now come into the weekly monthly opens. That could provide us with potentially a bounce back in towards the highs, but ideally we would see a little bit of a pop down lower still. I'm focusing on this blue dotted line over here, 96.81. Let's see how the market reacts to that. And then from there look for what could be a potential bounce in the near future. I have quite a few liquidity points here drawn on for the dollar index, and these are kind of like my main three, I would say, that I have at the moment. I would prefer an upside push from this area of demand, which aligns very beautifully with the overall 4-hour swing structure that you have over here. Now, my chart seems very, very complicated, but I promise it's actually very, very simple, because all I'm actually simply doing, guys, is identifying my overall impulsive phase and my overall pullback phase. So the easiest way to kind of like explain it to you guys is from the perspective that, and let's look at this from, let's say, market structure, right? because I guess everybody who's watching this is familiar with market structure. So what we're ultimately doing is just identifying, okay, we've been in a downtrend for quite some time. We get a break of structure in towards the highs over here. And from that moment onwards, this is pretty much your first impulse in towards the highs, okay? So I make this a green zone. Guys, no need to spam the chat. It really just pisses me off if you spam the chat. I'm just going to be banned from talking, man. Fucking hell. So we got the overall impulse in towards the highs. Now, what happens after the overall impulsive phase? We expect an overall pullback to happen. Now, where do you expect the pullback to happen? Well, in this particular example, it took place all the way back down to, let's say, the main low over here. Now, within the overall kind of like impulse, there were 3 main liquidity points, okay? So we had this low over here. We had this low pretty much over here. I would say these are kind of like the 3 points of liquidity. You have the low itself, you have this low, and you have this low. So all I am doing is I'm just waiting for the market to come into that low and then showing that it wants to potentially head up higher. So what happened here on the dollar index is that, okay, we came in towards the first liquidity low, nothing really happened, right? No real momentum, nothing at all. Price just heads down lower. Then market comes into the second liquidity low and aligns beautifully with the 3 monthly open. And at the same time, you also take out kind of like the final embossed liquidity low and you see a V-shaped reversal. Now, this was the moment that we can then see, hey, the dollar might be ready to push up higher. So then what happens is that, again, a new impulsive phase is ready to start from where we just want to be positioned in potential longs, right? Now, if you look at where the dollar has now come, it's now come into where? Into the daily break of structure line, or pretty much the 4-hour break of structure line, if I'm very honest. So this here is the 4-hour break of structure line, meaning that you're now coming into kind of like what is the overall 4-hour, let's say, swing, kind of like amber zone, where it's very dangerous to look for new long positions, okay? It's getting more dangerous. However, what you can then do is kind of like within that, let's say, bigger overall impulse, we obviously identify, hey, here we have an impulse up, which is your green zone. And then we had the pullback. Then we had another impulse up, which was your green zone. Then we had another impulse up, which was your green zone. And now again, we had another impulse up in towards the high, which has been our green zone. So all we're simply doing is now again waiting after liquidity gets grabbed here, after liquidity gets grabbed here, after liquidity gets grabbed here. We're now waiting again for liquidity to get grabbed either here, either here, either here, or either here. So then again, continue pushing up higher. And when do we then know, okay, the market is ready to continue pushing up higher? That is once we see a change of character on that liquidity low itself. So obviously the dollar is very, very bullish. It's bullish from both like swing structure, internal structure. Also the daily provided us with a beautiful reversal pattern in the form of that descending market structure, right, that we had over here. And all I'm simply looking now for is the dollar to continue pushing up higher from what is the overall daily sell for the buy. And for now, the market to continue its overall leg up higher to what is my target over here. So my target for now on the dollar is 101.512. So I'm now waiting for the dollar to make its next push up. So now obviously the question everybody wants to know, and yes guys, I'm on Discord. The Discord link is pinned in the chat of the live stream. So make sure to join, because on Monday, I'm going to be doing a big announcement on how you guys can join in on the fun following my trades. It's going to be a limited amount of spots, first come, first serve. So make sure to be inside Discord, because on Monday I'm going to announce how you can join in. So make sure to be there inside Discord, because again, Monday I'm going to announce how you can follow my trades through the private group. But regardless, the dollar index, I'm now looking for the next push up. So how can we then make money on a EURUSD? Well, on EURUSD, I understand that from a 4-hour perspective, what are we looking at? We're looking at the fact that we are currently within an impulse in towards the downside. Now, after the break of structure, which occurred right over here, we understand this is the swing high, this is the swing low. What I'm now looking for is for the next impulse in towards the downside, and I expect it to happen from this zone over here. I'm looking for a short actively from this area of supply. Yes, it will be free to join, guys. So on Monday, you will be able to join. It's going to be free to join. First come, first serve. Just be inside Discord. I'm going to announce more there. So yes, it will be free. So what we're now looking for is, again, okay, we take out the liquidity here. We tap into this supply zone, and I'm now looking for the next potential short if we see some lower time frame confirmation within that overall area of supply, okay? So keep an eye open. 2-hour time frame also looking good with that. 1-hour time frame also looking good. Obviously, you're like, I don't want to say, I don't mean it in a bad way, but you're not very intelligent with trading yet. If you try to short your USD, for example, from this supply zone, why? Because you have descending highs. Now the market is taking out all of those descending highs here, and then has a potential, for example, to drop down if you see the lower time for confirmation. Okay, so let's see if the market is ready, and that could coincide with the dollar index now coming into what? Into that weekly and monthly open. Preferably a little bit lower would be nice for the dollar index. Let's keep an eye on that. But we are still, again, looking for those dollar buys. That would mean that EURUSD could sell off once again further in towards the downside. So all I'm doing is waiting now for the market to confirm that we're ready to sell, and then I'll get into EURUSD sells. Ideally, you would, again, see maybe higher prices from the second high, as that aligns better with the 0.5 fib. However, I really like the supply together with the liquidation or with the liquidity over here. So I'll be looking for those shorts on EURUSD. Again, we need the lower time of confirmation, preferably on the 1 or on the 2 hour time frame. So just wait, don't just start selling, but wait for the confirmation in the form of the market structure shift, and then we can get into that potential short. So for EURUSD, I have this high, or this high. From this top high, I'll just grab a limit order, just put my stop loss above the highs, target a lower low again. That will be a setup that I'm happy to take, like this. From the other two, I'm waiting for the bearish confirmation based on how the market comes in towards there. And yes, you can also trade this based on the 15-minute time frame, though the 15-minute time frame still needs to see a structural shift. So for the 15, at the moment, your swing high is what you broke right over here. So on the 15-minute time frame, we had a market structure shift. And the reason that I don't like the 15 is just because it's not as nice as the 4 hour, but whatever. Here we had a breaker structure down. Here again we had a breaker structure down. Here again we had a breaker structure down. Now what have we seen? We've seen a breaker structure up. So now obviously the 50-minute time frame is bullish, but we're coming into what? A higher time frame area of supply, the weekly and the monthly open, and liquidity. So now based on the fact that we've seen a 50-minute BOS, you could now look for the 50-minute change of character to then look for the potential short again in towards the downside. But for myself, yeah, the noise is just too big on the 15. So I preferably just to trade the bigger swings. And on the bigger swings, I see EURUSD still further pushing in towards the downside. Also from a fundamental perspective, it makes sense for EURUSD to continue selling off, as Powell last week was relatively hawkish, meaning that he's been talking about higher interest rates, which means a bullish dollar overall. So I'm getting more and more bullish on the dollar, also based on the fundamentals now. Obviously, it would be nice to make a pullback deeper, but I'm looking still for longs on the dollar, meaning a EURUSD short. Now, you might be wondering, but Fabio, what is then, besides EURUSD, the next potential setup that you're looking at? Well, that is USD JPY and NZD USD. I think those three pairs to get, so like EURUSD included, are my top picks. NZD USD, I'm looking for this to trade towards the yearly open. Preferably NZD USD needs to push up higher. So this would be perfectly in alignment with the dollar index making that deeper pullback. NZD USD has been trending in towards downside beautifully. I've very clearly for you guys marked out the impulsive phase, the pullback phase, the impulsive phase, the pullback phase. Now, again, basic strategy, guys. All you're simply doing is every single time within the overall impulsive phase, identifying the overall liquidity highs. Here, liquidity got taken out in the impulsive phase, right? So this is the liquidity of the impulsive phase together with, for example, this high over here. Now, preferably, you're always going to be waiting for and this red line here is the monthly open, for the monthly open to get smooched together with that liquidity high to then go short. But what you see sometimes happening is that we don't retrace that high, because again, that overall level was also aligning at the time with the 0.5 fib. But you see the market is so bearish that it just doesn't even move that high. What happens is that you take out the internal, and then what happened here is that you started seeing the 4 hour change of character, and then from there it started selling off in towards the downside. That was already enough. So that's what we mean with waiting then for the market structure to confirm that the market is ready to push down lower. Then again, another impulsive phase in towards the downside. What are then the overall liquidity highs? Well, we had this here as liquidity, and we have pretty much this here as liquidity, and we have this here as liquidity. And then what happened? This liquidity point over here aligned beautifully with the 3 monthly open. That's also then on the change of character where you could have sold in towards the downside as supply formed. And from there, a lot of you together with me got in those shorts. So congratulations. I think a ton of us sold NZD USD over here. So that was a fantastic trade. And now, obviously, what are we waiting for? For pretty much just the exact same thing to happen. So now, what do I want? I want the market to make a higher retracement. at least in towards liquidity. Where for me is the liquidity? Well, liquidity starts here on the 4-hour time frame over here. I don't really see anything else, no bullish candles at all. I want it to push up a little bit higher, and then from here I'll get into shorts on the change of character, back down with a short position in towards downside, or I'll just pretty much enter a sell limit on top of this liquidity high with, again, my stop loss above the 3 monthly open level like this, targeting the overall yearly open for around a 1 to 2.6 risk to reward. So that's also a setup that I have there for USD that is currently open for myself, just waiting for price to move there if it does. Then the final setup that I'm looking for at the moment is USD-JPY to give me some bullish confirmation. So what I can see now is, again, USD-JPY as well has had its overall impulsive phase here in towards the highs, pullback phase, impulsive phase, pullback phase. Every single time, what does it do? And again, guys, you can just copy my charts, as simple as that. We identify the liquidity lows, so liquidity low here, liquidity low here. Again, liquidity low is positioned over here, so preferably we would see a deeper retracement now happen on USD-JPY back down towards these equal lows here. However, keep in mind that we did see a bullish 4-hour fractal structure shift over here, right? So like this. So this could now cause the next push up. Preferably, we'll wait for the lower prices and for this to get hit, because here you're trading at a discount, right? You're trading inside discount below the 0.5 fib, major liquidity lows, and then we get the change of character, and then we look to full port dollar longs through a USD-JPY long. But at the moment, we've already seen the 4-hour bullish change of character, and we know USD-JPY is a very impulsive pair. It doesn't always need to retrace that deep. So what I'm looking for at the moment on USD-JPY is, okay, we formed an area of demand over here. I now go to the 1-hour time frame, and what I see on the 1-hour time frame is that we have internal bearish market structure, push down, pull back, push down, pull back, push down, pull back, push down. What I'm now waiting for is for here on the 1-hour time frame, again, the equal lows that we're now grabbing. We had the overall impulse here in towards the highs. We're now within the impulsive phase, because what we saw here on USD-JPY was a push down, pull back, push down, push up. Now, impulsive phase in towards the highs. Where does the liquidity lie? Right over here. What am I now waiting for? Liquidity to get grabbed, boom, change of character up, boom, boom. This is a long that I'm happy to take as well, together then with the anticipation that the dollar index could potentially already continue pushing up higher from, for example, these liquidity lows over here, because we always need to be prepared for everything, right? And then for myself, USD-JPY would be one of the better expressions together with EURUSD if we get that bullish on confirmation on UJ and that bearish confirmation on EURUSD. So these are the two main, together with NZD-USD, but NZD-USD needs a little bit more development. These are the 3 main positions at the moment that I'm looking for. A USD-JPY long if we get the liquidation and then the change of character. A EURUSD short position if we get a change of character within the overall supply zone / liquidity high, together with the weekly and the monthly open, and together with NZD-USD, which needs to push up a lot higher still though. So those are the 3 main positions that I have at the moment. Then obviously we have a lot of gold fans in here as well. Gold, I'm looking to long it further in towards the highs. We're currently breaking above the weekly and the monthly open, and now I'm just waiting for it to kind of like break out of this range here. We're currently at resistance. We just need a little bit of a strong breakout, then the retest, and then I'll look for some more longs in towards the highs. As simple as that. No need to really no really need to overcomplicate. Are you putting more focus on trades that align with market structure rather than pullback trades? Yes, because I saw that my win rate just increases dramatically. I have around a 70% win rate if I just focus purely on those setups, trading pro market structure in the recent months. So therefore, I'm not going to even waste my time on having a 40% win rate, maybe making a little bit more return. Then I just prefer only to trade pro market structure, have a higher win rate, and then only take like 3 or 4 setups maybe in a month. But then at least when I do it, I know that the probability of me winning is going to be extremely high. The probability of you winning is just much higher. Because guys, if you look at NZD-USD, and again, it's not that complicated, right? Because all we're simply doing, and this is what I mean, like here you have the impulsive phase down, here you have the impulsive phase down, here you have the impulsive phase down. Now, it's ultimately as simple as identifying your liquidity high. So, for example, here we have a swing high. Here we had a swing. So, for example, once this liquidity point gets taken, change of character down, boom, sell. Here, once liquidity got taken, what happened here? Change of character, sell. Then, so this is like what? This is 25th of July. This is 14th of August. Then I remember at the time here you would have taken a loss, but then after liquidating the high and the change of character, you would have taken a sell. This would have been a win. And then here again on the internal after the change of character over here, you would have taken a win. And then again here we took a win recently with you guys. I called it on the market outlook. You would have taken a win. 1, 2, 3, loss, 4, 5, 6. From 25 of July until November, that's how many months? 4 or 5 months. You would have taken how many setup? Sorry guys, I'm a little bit sick, so I'm not very fit. I can't calculate, but I think it's what, like 6 out of 7 win if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, you guys know the win rate. You guys see, I mean, no overcomplicating. Trading pro market structure, trading pro trend, and then just using a stop loss that is realistic. Not kind of like making it as tight as possible. Let's say you just enter here. You just enter here. Stop loss above swing structure. Stop loss above swing structure. Here. Even if you would have entered this first setup over here, stop loss above swing structure, you wouldn't have even been stopped out. But let's say you take the tight stop loss, okay, you get stopped out. Then again, you take the wider stop loss here, okay, that would have been a win to the lower low, to the lower low, to the lower low. Here, 1.6%, here, 1.8%, here, then a 1% loss. Then here, a win of 3.7%. And then here, again, another win of, let's say, because here you have to use a tight stop loss. So here, 3%. And then again, here, I even scaled in on this thing with my lower low here. Like, you could target, again, 1.8%. Like, and then you use 2% risk or 3% risk, like 2.5% risk on, like, a challenge. And then you print, man. You print so much money. And that's why, like, a lot of people ask me, "What, Fabio, why do you only trade the dollar pairs, man?" Like, it's because it's fucking simple, man. Like, it's not complicated, you know? Like, I don't overcomplicate this shit. And again, everything here is for you guys to see. I'm not gatekeeping information. I'm not calling this turtle soup, silver bullet, time, price, blah, blah, blah. Overcomplicating, saying crazy names, words, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Fibonacci, Elliott wave. Like, guys, it's market structure. Just identify an impulse, look for liquidity high, and wait for the change of character. Boom, you execute, you make money like that. And like, this is why I print money using this strategy, because it's simple. And a lot of people have been printing money in recent weeks. Like, same with GBPUSD. Like, I'm sick, guys, so I really don't give I'm kind of like careless today on what I'm saying. So maybe later I won't talk like this, but you guys can kind of like imagine, right? Like, it's simple, man. Like, same with GU. Like, even here, like on the daily at the time, like here liquidity high, like here liquidity high, bearish market structure. What do? You sell on the liquidity high, a stop loss above the swing high, right? Like, it's a 200 pip stop loss, but you're also targeting like 450 pips. And obviously the setup takes time, but in the meantime, we'd have scaled in on the lower time frame. Like, if you just trade this purely based on the change of character, stop loss above the overall swing high, again, like here, 2.18%, 1.67%. Like, you make 4%, you use 2% risk, and then within the space of, like, say, August into October, so half of August, so August, September, October, like 2 months, 2.5 months, you pass the challenge. But at least you pass the challenge, right? Like, only 10% of traders can say that they actually passed the challenge. So that's why it's simple. Like, no overcomplication, no too tight stop loss, no fucking 20 trades a bloody day. Like, that's why I also always give the advice, guys. Just trade the higher time frame. Don't focus on the 15, because then you're going to take 5 losses in a row, like, get depressed and only see your account go down and down and down. You have to buy 10 different challenges. Like, those challenges don't have time limits. So why do we just, why stress about, like, taking setups every single day, man? You know what I mean? Like, it's as simple as that. And again, the reason why I'm so confident here speaking to you guys is because I preach the strategy every single day, and I've been preaching it for the past few months every single day, and I know a lot of you have been making money with it, and that's why I'm confident in what I say, because I know that the results are there, right? Like, just join the Discord and see the testimonials, and you can see everybody's making money with it. Now, I see a lot of you asking about NZDCHF, ADCHF. Like, look at NZDCHF. Man, like, I've been calling this shit as well, yeah? Like, you can see, again, the market structure is bearish, right? So, the daily is bearish. The daily is bearish, okay? It's clear. Like, again, this is why I don't trade, like, the counter trend anymore. Because why overcomplicate? If you see that the thing is going down and it's respecting market structure time and time again, why waste the time on, like, trying to get, like, the best lower time frame entry with the tightest stop loss? Like, it's as simple as here, break a structure, And now we're just waiting for another breaker structure. Fundamentals are very bearish for NZD CHF because NZD is just being weak. Here, okay, so what happens here, you don't retrace the 0.5 fib, but you retrace towards the free monthly open, which is then enough to push the market down lower. Then, again, what happens, the market retraces here into where? Into the 0.5 fib, exactly. Then, again, where does the market retrace into? It doesn't retrace into 0.5 fib, but then let's have a look at the lower time frame. Let's have a look at the lower time frame. Here, I don't really see it. I mean, I don't really see any entry here. I would have said that this would have been kind of like the main liquidity high, like a lot of descending highs. I wouldn't have taken a short here, but again, NZD CHF is not really a pair that I trade. But at the moment, like there is a nice setup, and it's selling off like it's selling off like hard. And I called this position as well, like a very long time ago already, last week I think it was. Look, obviously it's been pushing up higher and higher, but now look, if okay, this is your 4-hour swing, yeah, as simple as this. This is your over impulse down, okay? Don't overcomplicate. Look at the daily, you see, okay, it's a swing down. Then you go to the 4-hour time frame, you see it's a swing down as well, okay? Within that 4-hour swing, what do? We identify the liquidity points, okay? So where do we have liquidity, right? So here we have liquidity, and here we have liquidity, okay? And then you could classify this high as well. Now, what's beautiful about this high over here is that it aligns exactly with the free monthly open. So for me, this is already a no-brainer. Just like sell on top, stop loss here at around 45 pips above the daily high, and then here you would have already been up like 1.5%, 2% risk, 3% gain, and then on a challenge, right? And then trade that together with whatever NZD USD, EURUSD, and you pass the challenge if you take 2% risk on those setups as well, because NZD USD has been moving a lot harder obviously than like NZD CHF. But that's how simple it is. And now all you're doing is just targeting a new lower low. Well, obviously the Swiss franc has massive swap costs. That's something that you need to take into account. So every single night on rollover, which is around 11 p.m. my time, so like it's evening time in Europe, then you see between 11 and 12 there's very high spreads where the spreads get very large, right? And then you see you get stopped out on a lot of Swiss pairs because the spread suddenly increases to 30 or 40 pips. So it's important to always remove your stop loss at 11 o'clock. But again, as simple as this, you just enter on here and now it's dropping. And I mean, ultimately the same goes for ADCHF. It's been lagging a lot more, but if you look at ADCHF, it's also trending a lot less, right? If you then look at ADCHF or you look at an NZD-CHF trending extremely hard. ADCHF is slightly more consolidative, you see. So then just focus on like, just focus then on the NZD-CHF. Like focus on the pairs that trend. That's why I mainly just trade only the dollar pairs, you know. Is the music bad, guys? Is it not working well? Let me know if it's annoying. And this is how the big guys make money, man. Again, like why do you think that 95 or 90% of the traders are unprofitable? It's because 90% of the traders like trade the 15-minute time frame of retail traders, right? Like how do the big people make money? Because they trade like higher time frame swings based on fundamentals, man. Fantastic, Blake. NU and N Swiss first funded account. I'm glad to hear. So now again, NCCHF, very simple. This is like a simple sell that you can then take. Now again, I want to show you another setup that was kind of like relatively the same as this. There was an AUDJPY long, for example, okay? Now again, AUDJPY guys, Otto took this setup. I'm not sure if he's on stream, but he was inside Discord. He mentioned this. This is again a perfect setup or example of how to then trade this kind of like concept, yeah? Because I understand some of you might still have a question about, Fabio, how can I then trade it? So if I look here, for example, this pair has been trending upwards since April, right? In towards the highs. So what do you see happening here? Okay, we get an impulse. This is the impulsive phase in towards the highs. Again, within the overall impulsive phase in towards the highs, where's liquidity? Liquidity is resting here. Why is this liquidity, guys? Why is this low liquidity? Why is this a liquidity low? Let me know in the chat. Why is this a liquidity low? Why is this a liquidity low? Do we know why? Yes, there's no bump in the road in the push up. So this is then your bump in the road itself. So when there's no liquidity in a push up or like a move like this, because this is the overall impulse, right? This is also an impulse, but in the impulse up, there's no liquidity, no bumps in the road, like I like to call it. So here's the liquidity. So again, with 80 JPY, what you then just do is you just enter here, stop loss here, target a new higher high. And again, guys, like the risk to reward seems very poor, but let's say you're just trading a 1 to 2 risk to reward, right? You see the yearly open is there situated as well. Boom, takes out the liquidity and then starts reversing up higher. And then what you can do if you want to get in on the lower time frame, look at the 4 hour. Then what you saw, okay, main liquidity gets taken, and then on the 4 hour, and this is very similar to like USD CAD of recently, you can check out USD CAD, look for the breaks of structure, look for the breaks of structure, look for the breaks of structure, and then just enter again on the overall liquidity points. Even now here, like for example, let's say you look at this kind of like from, let's say, an impulsive phase in towards the highs, like here you have like a lot of ascending lows, takes out the liquidity and then starts reversing up higher again. If you were to view this as kind of like an impulse up, it's around the 0.5 fib. Like these are kind of like positions that you can then potentially take to long it further in towards the upside. Now again, 80 JPY is not kind of like my favorite pair, but it does work here again as well. And yeah, I mean, I'm talking directly to all of you, man. Like this is the way to trade. Like last month I printed $40,000 US just trading this, just putting the entry there. GBPUSD, EURUSD, USD, and I mean that's what's possible once you have like 10 different fund accounts. You just wait for the one right setup, and then you just put the limit. You just put the stop loss above 60 pips, target a lower low, 1% risk or 2% risk, 1 to 2 risk to reward, and you're done. Boom, one trade, and you're done for the month, man. As simple as that. It's as simple as that. Literally as simple as that. But the thing is, again, people overcomplicate. So look for these kind of setups time and time again, and that's how we want to keep on trading them. So let's have a look at some other pairs that then look clean as well, and that we can start trading as well. When's the garage vlog? What do you mean with garage vlog, Joe? Yeah, so let's have a look at EuroCAD. Let's have a look at Swiss yen. So like EuroCAD is also like an example of a pair that's just ultimately just moving higher and higher, right? So this is trending upwards. So I'm not going to try and sell this, right? That for me is just the way to go. I'm not going to try and sell this. I'm always just looking to trade an impulsive pair that moves in a direction, right? I'm not going to kind of like call the top on EuroCAD and say, hey, we're now going to start making a massive retracement. This thing has been trading upwards for what, like nearly a year, right? So why would it now suddenly reversing towards the downside? Like if it hits my stop loss, fine. But other than that, like all you're simply doing is just again focusing on trading the overall further pushes in towards the highs. Now this for me is not the cleanest pair, but what I can see is that it's kind of like in this upward channel, right? It's in this upward channel. It's not the cleanest channel. Maybe this is a little bit better, like this, yeah. So I mean, it's trending in an upward channel. We're creating what? We're creating a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a well, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So ultimately, it just makes sense to continue pushing up higher. What's happened on EuroCAD on the daily time frame is that we've swept quite some lows. If you look at the 4 hour, on the 4 hour here, you swept all of the lows and it's now trending up higher again. So yeah, it makes sense to push up higher, though I must say EuroCAD is not as clean as the other pairs, in the sense that the impulse and the pullback is not, it's not very clean, right? Like you can see, hey Fab, I have an impulse up here. This was very clean price action. Impulse up here, and then here it liquidates the low, you see, and then the pullback phase is over, and then from there what happens, the next impulse in towards the highs again exists. And then at the time here you had like the 0.5 fib. Like these are perfect setups, but the thing is, like, it doesn't happen every single day, right? But like this would be a nice setup back up in towards a new higher high, even if you like trade it like this. Like obviously the risk to reward is not ideal, but even like 1 to 1.6, 1 to 1.5, like it's still relatively good in a way. Again, then what we had was, let's say, an impulsive phase. Then this here as the internal liquidity low, takes out the internal liquidity low, and then the next impulsive phase in towards the high start. Then this here is the impulsive phase in towards the highs. What does it decide to do? It takes out the equal lows itself. So now I would say maybe let's just wait, sit this one out on EuroCAD, wait for kind of like a new impulsive phase, wait for, let's say, the market structure here to break, wait for this, and then wait for the retracement to then take out liquidity and then look for the next long. So I would say in the future, let's look for EuroCAD long, but it needs to develop itself because it's getting a little bit messy, a little bit stuck, a little bit kind of like in consolidation. I don't really like this. That's my opinion. Yeah, let's have a look at EURUSD and GBPUSD. So EURUSD, it's rejecting now the weekly and the monthly open. I mean, again, like, yeah, what would you want to see here? You would want to see the 1 hour change of character and then go like this, or now you want to see kind of like fractal structure start to form and then see something like this. But for the rest, there's nothing really on EURUSD now. So maybe tomorrow there will be an entry, but for now there's not really anything. I don't really get on to like a liquidity high entry from here because I don't know where to really place my stop loss. So I would wait for confirmation here. What was your win rate last month? My win rate last month was around 80%. But then again, I don't trade 50 setups. So then it's possible that you have a win rate of 80%, right? Because over a distribution of 80 trades, I'm not going to have an 80% win rate. But if over the distribution of around, let's say, 6 or 7 trades, then it's possible that you get into a winning streak, right? Trading Pit has weekly payout or daily payout. For the first payout, you need to wait 14 days. And then after that, if I'm not mistaken, it is still every 14 days. If I'm not mistaken. To be honest, I didn't even really pay attention to it. Because I just pay out when the account is ready. And I have like many different accounts, right? So I just pay out when it's ready. So yeah, I mean, that's that. So the pound, today there was massive pound news from or inside of the UK. So for the pound at the moment, I'm still favoring more downside. The pound is still relatively weak. I'm looking, but I don't really see it yet for GU. If I'm very honest, I just don't really see a setup here. I like the supply, but at the same time, like, you're very, very deep in the leg. We haven't made a connection yet, again, with the daily order flow. Like, at the moment, what I'm, like, preferring is maybe just to let it kind of, like, go without us, maybe. And then in the future, it will create some new liquidity where we can then, in the future, kind of, like, enter again. But at the moment, there's not really any entries from me here on GU. Like, the only kind of, like, focus points for me are maybe, like, this high here or this high here. And if it retraces that high, then from there, I'm happy to look for kind of like some shorts. But other than that, I'm more just chilling on GU at the moment and waiting for it to kind of like become pro trend. Yeah, I'm waiting for kind of like reaccumulation. So it'll take some time for that. Yeah, AU. Yeah, we were talking about AU for long, but again, I didn't really like it because the foundation is built on equal ascending lows. So that's why I was not really looking for a long. There could still be some further downside. Let's keep an eye on the dollar index. Dollar index, as you see, is bouncing from that weekly, monthly level. Those things are, they're absolutely fantastic. They are just, yeah, really incredible. Will the Trading Pit have a Black Friday sale? Yes, they will. You can use TTA 25 and you have 25% discount on any account, if I'm not mistaken, with Black Friday. But that's at the end of the month, I think. They'll do like a 30% discount or maybe even a 35% discount. But yeah, keep an eye on that. What do you think about ETH longs? Yeah, I like that. I like some ETH longs as well. I was looking at that. I think crypto is nearly bottomed out. ETH here on the yearly open liquidated the internal low and hit the 0.5 fib. These are the kind of setups that I love, man. So now it's kind of like just looking for some internal order flow because you cannot really put your stop loss here. Well, I mean, you can. You can trade this. This is a nice setup overall. Like if you're waiting to put a stop loss here, but then look where the stop loss is, 1368. Yeah, never in my dreams will Ethereum hit there again, because if it does hit your stop loss, I'll just buy again and then but stop loss on 0. I just put the stop loss on 0. But no, ETH looks good for a long. Keep an eye on the lower time frame. It's on the yearly open. I like ETH longs. I like ETH longs, definitely. Euro yen. Thanks, Luxury Lifestyle. I appreciate it, brother. Graded. How many accounts do you have? So like in total, like max allocation with Trading Pit, I have around 2 or 3 FTMO accounts myself. Rucker also has. I also have some other accounts, and I also have personal accounts. So like total, I trade like above $1 million. At some point in time was around like 2 million, but then over the summer I blew a few challenges or like live accounts. I think like 2, because I again was not behaving in the smartest way, and obviously summer market was a little bit slower, but still now something like that. So around 1.3 1.4 mil. Please do the same setup on every account of yours. Sub Fabio was wondering USD CAD sells. Not really a fan of USD CAD sells, man, because USD CAD is bullish. Euro Yen, I'm looking for longs. Euro Yen being bullish, obviously this thing is bullish as hell. How do you manage all the accounts? Use Traders Connect, and then you can copy the trades between the accounts with a dedicated IP. I have one master account, and then I copy from the master account to the slave accounts, which are my copy accounts. So for Euro Yen, I use the one-step CFD challenges from the Trading Pit. Link is in the description of this video, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, in the description of this video. Use TTA25 for 25% discount. Again, I get a kickback if you buy the account there, but I mean, that's the least we can do, right? Do you trade live, Adams? Well, yeah, I mean, in a way I do, but I don't trade on the 15-minute time frame. But I'm telling you where I'm going to be selling your USD. I told you when I'm going to be selling NZD. I told you when I'm going to be buying USD JPY. Max sent me a message on Discord. Please prefer water in glass bottles. Yes, Lilystone, I agree. There's plastic obviously in this water, but they don't sell here at the supermarket glass bottles. What indicator do you use? I use these indicators here, the opens indicator, and I use the fractal structure break indicator. So yeah. So for Euro Yen, I mean, obviously then this is kind of like a buy then that I like. Would have already been up around 1.5%, looking to trade this back up to a higher high. It retraced into discount, took out major liquidity. It's given us a 4-hour change of character. So the main setup was to be taken on the first 4-hour fractal break. And I'm now looking for this to continue pushing up higher ultimately. Can I get CFD prop firm account for TTP? Not sure. AOCS, you would have to ask them. Thoughts on GU? I prefer EURUSD sells. Use ICT concepts? No. No. CAD Yen. Yeah, so CAD Yen. Let me look at you guys. CAD Yen. So CAD Yen is one of those pairs that is, how do I say? It's obviously, look, obviously we've been trending upwards, right? Obviously we've been trending upwards. It looks good still to push up further higher. I mean, if we look at the 4-hour time frame, it's again a no-brainer from the perspective that impulsive phase. Within the impulsive phase, where do we have liquidity? Liquidity's here. Within the impulsive phase, where's liquidity? Liquidity's here. We've taken out major liquidity. We've seen a change of character. So, I mean, yes, it can buy up. But, what is here? We have the yearly open. And the yearly open is a bloody nightmare for any trade. Is there an inactivity limit on the trading pit? Yeah, I think it's 21 days. What's the main reason you help us, Fabio? Because I never had this kind of help, and I'm just trying to get some good karma points for all the bad that I did in my life. No, I'm joking, but I just enjoy it, man. I just enjoy it. For me, like I always used to trade alone back COVID times. COVID times was obviously lonely. Like back in COVID, I used to go to bed every night at like 4:30, 5 a.m. I was just trading from my bedroom. And the only time I would go outside was to get like a Coke Zero from the gas station at the time. And I would just like go for a walk at the gas station, get my Coke Zero, go back to my screen and just trade a bit. And I was bored, man. I was like all alone. I had nobody that I knew who was trading. So then what I decided to do was just upload some YouTube videos and spend a lot of time on editing those videos. So you can watch on this channel. Like if you go to my like earliest videos, it's like around 5 years ago, 2020 or 2021, April. and I just wanted to find some guys to trade with. And then, well, I was just uploading like a market outlook, and then some people started watching. They asked for a free Discord. I made a free Discord, and then people started joining, and then it kind of like blew up. And then yeah, I kind of like never really stopped doing the market outlooks. So I mean, yeah, I guess I became big with doing free market outlooks, so why would I stop doing it? Like, you guys made me who I am today, as from like a trader perspective, and like still to this day I learn so much by explaining what I see on the chart, because that at the end of the day is why I've become the great trader, if I can say that, like with the success that I've achieved. It's who I've become, and it's because of me doing all of the free value and sharing all of these it's been sharing all of these, sharing all of these market updates. It's helped me so much in my journey that why would I suddenly stop doing it when I then reach the level that I want to, you know? How long will the TTA25 voucher code last? I think it will last for the entire month. To be honest, I'm not really like I'm not like, again, I'm not some kind of like marketing genius, guys, so I don't really even know about. I just got the code and he asked me to share it, so you can use it if you want. TTA25 for 25% discount. Yeah, and I'm glad that I'm just able to help you guys as well. And hopefully when I then travel around the world next year, I can come and visit some of you guys, man. I can come and visit. Like, the funniest story ever was I was in London with Alpha Capital. I was invited for the Alpha Prime program, which is like the scaling program of the Alpha Capital prop firm. They have like the scaling program Alpha Prime, so when you get like consistent payouts and do an X amount of money, like they say, hey, do you want to trade on like real capital? So they invited me there, and then I was running through the London with Rucker, and then somehow we came across one of you guys on the street, and he said like, hey Fab, how are you doing? That for me was like one of the best fucking moments of my life, man. Like, I remember like when, and like I just want to kind of like, I wish like you could experience that. Like, when I first started doing the YouTube videos, like I was just in my bedroom, like I said, and then like I didn't know anybody. I had like 20 viewers at first, and it was like my mom, my dad, my brother, myself with like 10 different accounts. And then suddenly, like 5 years later, just because of consistent uploading, like somebody recognizes you on the street. Like, that's the funniest shit ever, man. That was I'm not gonna lie, that felt kind of like, it felt good, man. It felt good. But obviously I had to upload 1,500 YouTube videos to get there, right? So obviously I've done quite a lot of work for it. But yeah, I mean, CAD Yen looks good for some potential buys soon. Let's have a look. So you just go to the Trading Pit EE, and then you can sign up there with the TTA25 discount code. If you had 2 to 3 pairs only for the rest of your life, what would it be? It would just be EURUSD, GBPUSD, and USD probably. Are you a swing trader? Yes. Fabio, the TTA payment is one time. Not sure what you mean. Send me a message or on Discord. Open a ticket on Discord. Open a Discord support ticket. That's where I'm kind of like most active. I don't really read too much DMs. If I'm very honest, I get like 100 spam DMs a day, so it's very hard to kind of like read them all, if I'm very honest. EURUSD buys. Yeah, so EURUSD is one of those pairs that it's not really moving anywhere. It's like, it's kind of like stuck. So yeah, I mean, it looks good to move up again because it swept the low, right? So here we swept the low. Previously we swept the high. Like, it's in a range, right? So I don't really like trading these pairs that are kind of like in a range. I just want a pair to kind of like be trending. So yeah, I don't really like trading that, man. How did you met Rucker? Rucker was a subscriber, or just somebody who was inside Discord, and he just sent me a message. So you see, like, I'm open, like to talk to everyone, to learn from everyone. And yeah, Rucker showed what he could do, and from there, the rest is history. So yeah, NCHF looks good, man. Let's see it sell off, man. Another 60 pip drop. Let's give it to us. USD JPY. I talked about what I want to see. I want to see the changing character, and then I'll look to buy it. AUD/USD I'm not trading at the moment, because if you sell AUD/USD, you're looking at a dollar index buy, right? And then if you buy dollar index, then I would prefer to trade either EURUSD, or I would prefer to trade a USD/JPY. I personally like USD/JPY, maybe even more than EURUSD at the moment, because I know that USD/JPY can move as impulsive as it is moving now. And for me, USD/JPY also has more clear liquidity. Like, if this first setup hits my stop loss, then I'll buy the living shit out of USD/JPY from here, and then trade this, and then I'll use like 2% risk, and then I'll make back my first loss. So this is the two setups that I have for USD/JPY. You can copy, man. Hey, Paul, good, man. Thanks, appreciate it. That's crazy. Glad to hear that you've been watching the video since way back, man. Hey, Fabio, this might sound stupid, but it's something I heard. So I've heard that your strategy becomes very public. The strategy, new liquidity, as a lot of it is using it. No alpha. It's indeed just BS. Do we have time for CAD Swiss? Felipe, yes. What time frame do you check your chalk? Daily and the 4 hour mainly. Can you use the concept for scalping? Yes, you can. But yeah, these are the two setups that I have for UJ. Then CAD Swiss, again, I prefer N Swiss. CAD Swiss makes sense as well. CAD Swiss is just like U Swiss, trending hard in towards the downside. We've had the impulsive phase here. We had a breaker structure down, right? So within the overall retracement or impulse, here we have liquidity high. We took out the liquidity. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense to sell off. Maybe if you want a little bit more confirmation, just wait for the order flow to shift. So that would mean this low to break, retest the free monthly open, and then sell towards these equal lows. So just wait for this to happen and then sell it. That's what I'll do as well. I don't trade it, but like, I'll tell Rutger to sell it. How many trading days limit is on TTP? What do you mean trading days limit? Like, you need minimum trading days. Yeah, I think you need 3 profitable days in the challenge, and then on the live, doesn't matter. You just need to wait for 14 days before the payout. What time of day do you like opening the trades on the high time frame? I don't really mind, to be honest. But yeah, no, that's CAD Swiss, Felipe. London sessions or New York sessions, or both. How do I know when I make profit on TradingView? Not sure I understand what that means. Gold is dropping. Yeah, it seems. Yeah, it's just stuck, man. Stuck in this range, waiting for the breakout. So yeah, guys, it's been a beautiful hour. We're going to do some back testing, hopefully tomorrow inside Discord. Hopefully I feel better then. I'm going to tune off, get some sleep. My voice is losing it, so I'm going to rest. And yeah, guys, thanks for joining again. I mean, keeping it real on here, just trying to be as straightforward and myself as possible. Yeah. Do you give one-on-one teaching? Yes. Yeah, I mean, guys, if you really want to learn the strategy, click on the first link in the description of this video and fill in the form, and you'll be in contact with me. Yeah, guys. Also, if you want like just a one-on-one session for like an hour, send me a message on Discord. I'll talk to you. Guys, thanks so much. Wish you all a fantastic day. And why do you not trade the other pairs that the team does? Because I make enough money trading my dollar pairs, and I know where they're going to move most likely, more often than not. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you all. Have an amazing day, yeah? And appreciate. Again, another valuable stream as always, and appreciate you all taking the time to be here. And yeah, every one of you who leaves a like or who subscribes to the channel means a lot. And let's make some money, hopefully, on on the next dollar impulse or on NZD/CHF or CAD Swiss or whatever pair that you're trading. NZD/CHF looks better than CAD Swiss. Thanks, guys, and see you later.